sort of faffing about with plants.
Killing plants. She was killing flowers. Hello YouTube, welcome back. This is show 28, Fringe Online, and this is a show called Few Are Angels from Space. And before we actually get on to the review, which was Jane's choice,
you know what's coming.
This was the first show that we've seen via the Fringe online app, which I have to say is not as straightforward as you would think. First of all, you have to log into your Fringe account on the Fringe website. You then have to find where my shows are, which is under your account link. It's not obvious off the homepage. You then click on the link to go into my shows, and you have to log in again. So you end up logging in twice. You're logging into the Fringe online app, which I have to say was just pointless. It was ridiculous really to have to go through that rigmarole. Anyway, enough about that, but be aware that it's not straightforward. You, like I say, double logins, you're logging into one thing, then you log into something else, but actually once you're in there, all of the shows that you've booked or the online shows are booked are there. Enough about that.
Okay,
right, on to the review. This will be interesting.
So, Few Are Angels, theatre, spoken word on demand. And the blurb is: Cressida searches for love online. Miss Page vows to take revenge. Cleopatra rages against her jailers. Few Are Angels features 8 scenes presenting Shakespeare's women in 21st century settings. This video compilation of monologues and sonnets forms part of 3 Chairs and a Hat's major digital project. Shakespeare, she, her,
What's that mean? What does that mean?
At the Brighton Fringe in 2021 and directed by Wayne T. Brown. Interestingly, it's apparently directed by a man.
Why is it Shakespeare brackets she, her?
I don't know. Maybe they're being funny. Is it?
Are they being ironic?
It's one of these.
Can I ask? I mean,
non-pronoun things that I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, you chose this, but did you realise what you'd chosen?
I think I can't remember.
Right.
To be absolutely truthful, I cannot remember. But I think I like sort of short scenes, sketches, that kind of thing, and I was probably intrigued by the fact that it. I mean, to me, it doesn't matter whether it's men or women. That was immaterial. But
and I have nothing against doing. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I hated it. I absolutely hated it. Not for the performances, because I thought actually the performances of the 8 women. Although I think one woman performed it, two.
No, I don't think so.
No, right, they're all different anyway.
They were all different.
The performances I thought were spot on if you're into Shakespeare, and had I been watching a whole Shakespeare play, I probably would have enjoyed it. I'm not a massive Shakespeare fan, but I've watched enough Shakespeare to enjoy a whole play. I think taking these pieces out of context was pointless. It just made absolutely no sense to me. And then to set them in a modern setting with, in some cases, quite poor audio, especially outside, you know, you've got to fix that stuff really. Anyway, what was your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I didn't dislike it. It took a while for us to realise because at first we thought we were watching adverts. We didn't know what was happening, because I haven't.
It wasn't clear.
Anyway, so there were 8 short bits, as it said. There were some that I liked better than others. I like Shakespeare put into a modern setting because it just absolutely fascinates me the way that Shakespeare works in whatever setting it's put into. It just seems to make sense, be relevant.
And we have seen Shakespeare in absolutely brilliant modern settings.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I like
Yeah.
that. I agree to a certain extent. Well, did it need to be the whole thing? I mean, obviously, some of them. I mean, they were all obviously out of context in the sense that they were a very, very short bit.
And that's the problem. Unless you know these plays, then it's almost done for a Shakespeare expert, because taken out of context, they don't make any sense.
Well, I agree with you up to a point, because I probably enjoyed the ones that I knew the best.
Right.
Whereas some of them I've never seen, and I just took it at face value. So I liked the fact that Cleopatra, I mean, she was actually dressed as you would expect a traditional Cleopatra to be dressed. But she was sitting in I wasn't quite sure, it was some kind of, was it?
A hut.
Well, it was like a barn. Well,
hut.
It was an animal had been kept in there. Whether or not it was big enough for one cow, it didn't look like a horse box.
Yeah, it wasn't a horse
anyway,
box.
but so you had a lot of farm implements. There was straw on the ground, but interestingly, there was a CCTV camera in the corner, and for one very brief line, she appeared sort of as seen on CCTV, which I thought was quite novel. I quite liked that. And
I was just confused, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, well, I liked that. I thought that worked really, really well. The one I liked best was Cressida, who was on one of these dating apps. So she was sitting with her laptop, speaking the lines, tapping away, and at one point I can't remember the line exactly, but it fitted because she then deleted it, and I thought that was quite funny. And she's surrounded with chocolates and popcorn and red wine, and that really, really worked for me in the speech that she was giving. Beatrice sort of faffing about with plants.
Killing plants. She was killing flowers.
I mean, I think that's quite a good speech. That's from Midsummer Night's Dream, and I like that. But I just found what she was doing very distracting. Whereas a lot of the other scenes, I was focusing on what they were saying. So I didn't like that. The courtesan out of, and I can't remember what that was out of. Sorry about that. That was funny because she just popped up over a fence, and I enjoyed that. That was quite visually, because of the way she looked. I like that. I mean, the scene from Richard II, like Ian was saying, the wind. I mean,
the wind noise was very,
you just
very
kept
bad.
hearing the wind noise. So that
I mean,
that wasn't
the
so
microphone
effective.
needed a dead cat. It's not rocket science.
I mean, so there were one or two that I really liked and I thought were very effective. Others less so, but overall, I quite liked the idea. Yeah.
I just think it's ill-conceived.
Yeah, I did.
I think unless you know an awful lot about Shakespeare, it's completely pointless.
Yeah. I mean, it was very short. The whole thing was only 20 minutes. So, and it's obviously, from what we've read, it's part of a bigger project.
And I can't criticise the performances, because I thought the performances were good. You know, I just think the whole concept is flawed.
Okay. Well, I didn't. I disagree.
Right. Stars. I'm going to give it 1 star for the performances.
Oh, well, I would give it a 3. So what do we do there? We've never had that before.
We have to go with a 3, don't we?
We have to go with the
But
3.
I am not recommending it. I can't recommend it.
It's 20 minutes. I think it's worth a look.
Okay. Tell us what you think down below if you bother to see it. Other opinions are available. You know, who's to say we're right? Who's to say Jane's right? Who's to say that I'm right?
Exactly.
You know, it's the first one that I haven't. I mean, I sat there for 20 minutes, getting more and more annoyed by the whole idea.
When he says that he was sitting there, he did, but he did other things, and I could tell he didn't like it because he fidgeted like mad.
As is my want. Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him Horatio, a man of infinite jest. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.